I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph. Welcome to my channel. This week we're going to be doing our Spring Mountain kit and we're going to be completing week 4. If you're a subscriber, thank you for coming along for another week of Stitch with me on my Spring Mountain. If you're not a subscriber and you want to stick around and you like the content that we like for my Stitch with me's, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Click the bell notification. It will let you know anytime new content is loaded to my channel. And leave a comment of how you came across my channel or what made you click on this video. As you can see in the intro here, what the image looks like, all the specs of it. So let's go ahead and get started on this week's Stitch with me for the Spring Mountain by Classical Cross Stitch. All right, friends, as you can see here, I did not put this project or work on it at all this week. We're going to continue on color 16, which is DMC color 758, and we're going to keep working over in the sky here. And this is my spring one, so when summertime comes, I'll figure out what project I'm going to do next. I might do my lighthouse one just because it's very summery and it reminds me of summertime with my dad. So we'll see how much we'll get done in this stitch with me this week. This particular canvas is kind of tricky just because of the colors that are included mixed with the symbols. So, and just like true fashion, we're all ready. I'm going to re-wax this because I don't know if I waxed it last time. Bear with me. That's all I do is do a quick slide through. There you go. And then let's see what we have here. There we go. And this is a pretty long thread. I know some people don't like doing this right now, like with this type of tail. Give me 1 second, my kid needs me. All right, sorry about that. My little one had kind of a rough day at school, so he just wanted a hug. So my babies will always take priority over filming, so sorry about that. But this one I feel like I'm not making as much progress on just because of the intricate stitching on it and the colors that are on this particular canvas. And then with this tail, like I was saying, a lot of people won't stitch with long string like this because of how much you get knots and stuff, but I don't like cutting my threads, so I just deal with it. But that's your preference if you wanna do longer thread or not. For me, it just makes me stitch more. Because when I have a long thread like this, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I can get through this one thread, I've made that much more progress with it. So that's why I like using long threads. But as you can see, you just got to be careful with how much knotting, because see how it will knot up in the back or in the front. So you just got to be careful when doing that. And I just put my finger like this to try to keep it from knotting. As you can see, I'm just traveling my threads because it's only a couple of squares over, so I just want to get all these like little random spots done so that way I can start doing the block stitching down there. Sorry if you see my camera wobbling. Those of you that are new here or haven't watched my other Stitch With Me videos, my laundry room is right next to my office/filming room. So when it spins, it kind of shakes this room. I don't even understand why, because it's not like off balance or anything, but it's weird. I think it's because it's the wall closest to this room. So it's literally like right on the other side of the closet in this room. So sometimes it will shake pretty, like I could feel it in the floor in my feet, if that makes sense. So I know that's what will cause my camera to shake a little, is because I could feel it in my feet. Like I don't even probably have to look at the camera to know if it moved a little or jostled. Yeah, it sounds like my washer's in a like rinse cycle right now. Ouch, that hurt. See that? Look at that. Jeez Louise. Sounds like my dryer's done. I feel like every Stitch With Me video, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm always doing laundry. And I have family of 5 with my daughters. She does her own now, but I help her with her bedding sometimes and stuff like that. Or if she has a lot of homework and stuff, like I'll help her with her chores. So I feel like it's a never-ending cycle once you become an adult with a family, with all of the bedding and the towels and the clothes. The way we do our laundry in our household is by family member, because I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Your girl does not like sorting laundry. So each family member has their own little laundry basket. The only thing that we do sort are whites. That's it. But other than that, everyone has their own laundry basket. I do the laundry and then I move on to the next family member. It just makes it easier for when I'm washing. And then when the kids come home from school, I put the basket on their bed and they put it away themselves as part of their household chores. Does it get done right away some days? No. Sometimes I'll take the basket right off and just do it like a couple of days later, but at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to make sure it's put away. The one we do help with hanging of the clothes is our youngest, just because he can't reach all the way to the rod in the closet. So we help him with that. We try to let him do it on his own every week, and if he needs help, then we help him. He does put away like all his own socks, underwear, undershirts, pajamas, all that stuff. So, all right, so we finished all those little random boxes. Let me find my scissors. I have a little handy dandy, I keep this with me when I'm stitching. It's like a little box that holds all my things. As you can see, I love chapstick. So chapstick, my wax, my threader, my needle. If I split a thread, then I put the extra thread in there for that project. Just over the years, little tricks that I've learned because I've lost things. Most of the time I lose them in my recliner. So there's that. Last night I didn't put my scissors in my little basket, and I set them down on the arm of my recliner, and a cat jumped up, knocking my scissors down and into the recliner. So my 10-year-old climbed under my recliner and got my scissors for me. He's like, "It's a good thing I'm small, huh, Mom?" I was like, "I guess, buddy, but I appreciate you getting my scissors so I didn't have to flip the chair over." So that's one reason why I have the basket, and then I tend to keep it on my end tables or on the table of where I'm stitching, because the cats always, always, always knock stuff over. It never fails. or our dogs. They've gotten a lot better about wanting to sit with me while I'm stitching. Like when I have my projects in my hand, it's like they instinctively know not to jump on on me while I have a project out. But if I'm sitting there watching TV, they'll jump up on my chair with me and sit with me and hang out. When I was younger, I used to be a stickler about letting them on the chair with me or on the couch. But I've just gotten to the point in my life, and maybe after losing our first dog that we've had since we were married, I just want them to live their best life. It is what it is. They don't get to be on this earth very long, so I just want them to enjoy their life and know that we love them. Ooh. See, if you slow down, you'll see your knots starting to form before you even get one, unless you're Steph and you just keep going to town and keep stitching. Does anybody have any pets? If you're new here, what kind of pets do you have? Leave a comment down below what kind of pets you have and how old they are. I have 3 cats and 3 dogs. We used to have 4 cats, but we lost her a while ago. She was old. She lived a long life, but she ended up passing away from oral cancer in her sleep at home. She did have pain medicine, so she was still able to eat and everything, but she pretty much was numb from her pain meds. And I think she just got to the point where she was like, enough was enough, and she passed on her own. And like I said, luckily we have a good vet, and we had pain meds for her. If I see my threads not laying right in the boxes, like I'll fix them just how you saw. I'll just take my needle and adjust them just a little bit. The one thing with cross stitching I've learned is there's always going to be a little bit of something showing in the background. And as you start working the project more, your threads will start laying a little bit differently, and pulled my thread out. All right, I actually have to, I'll rethread this and get it started in the next hole, but I'm gonna pause our video because I gotta go grab another kid here. And then, actually, let's see. I could probably finish this column, so let's just finish this column here. So on this particular canvas, I tried like different methods of my stitching, or my threads. So some of them, if you want a fuller stitch, as you can like see through here, it doesn't really look like an X, it just looks like a fluffy square. Or if you want more of an X, there are two different ways for that. So here you want to pull your strand individually. So one piece of thread at a time, and it fluffs it up a little bit more. If you want that more X definition, so this is an 11 count, you would pull all 3 strands at once, and then I wax them so it gives it that more of a defined X look, which I know some people prefer that. I'm one of those that prefer that defined X look. There are some people that prefer more of a coverage look, but I wanted to try it out to see what difference it would make. All right, so we're going to stop right here, and then I'm going to go grab my kiddo, and then I'll be right back. Up there. All right, guys, I'm back from picking up my kid from school. That's the last of the 3. I do still pick up my high schooler because she's learning to drive. We should be wrapping up learning to drive this summer, hopefully. I folded the clothes in the dryer, put the new load into the dry, so I just did a couple of extra household chores while we had you on pause. There we go. Today it's pretty warm out when I'm filming this video. I'm wearing shorts and a tank top today with flip-flops. It's warming up pretty fast here in Colorado, which is nice. Well, where I'm at anyways. I'm in the Denver metro area. I feel like I'm actually getting a decent amount done on the canvas this week. I know the last week stitch with me on this canvas, I felt like it was never ending. I'll be honest with you, as I stated in the last video, those of you that haven't watched, I am dreading this symbol, even though it's just a little bit. I felt like it took me forever, and then I was making errors with like seeing where I stitched. So that particular one, I'm going to have to do full stitches instead of like a half stitch. So I'm going to have to do a full stitch and then move on to the next full stitch just because of the symbol. The color and the color of the thread is a little weird. So hopefully, when I do my stitch with me's, I also kind of bounce around and trying like new colors. It's just I didn't finish this one last week, so I just wanted to get this thread finished. So hopefully I'll get this finished this week. And then next week we could start a new color. Hopefully. Next week is a busy week for me for work. So, and I also have some tests coming up for school, so I'm going to be clustering filming my videos, which makes for busy days for me on my days off while my kids are at school. Luckily, my kids are just decompressing and eating after school snacks and talking on the phone with their friends, playing video games and stuff. Our school district for elementary school kids, they don't issue a lot of schoolwork. They read 20 minutes a day and they do some math, but that's about it. Like we can knock that out probably. My kids, my son, my youngest son, he's really good at math for the most part, so he can knock out his math homework. But middle schoolers and high schoolers, they do have a lot of homework. So my high schooler, she'll first come home and like eat, take a nap because she's always tired when she gets home from school because it takes a lot of energy out of her for school because she has college courses she's taking her senior year. And then My middle schooler, he'll do the same thing. He'll come home, get cleaned up, changed, eat a snack, and he'll play like video games. He'll play like a round of games with his friends online, and then he'll knock out his homework. We did struggle with our kids at first with the homework part. Um, so all of my kids have ADHD. 2 are on the spectrum. So we just kind of work around their strengths and we kind of pay attention to what they're doing. We've got them in a pretty good routine to where they're self-disciplined enough now to do their homework on their own. I just give reminders like, hey, what homework do you have today? Did you get some of it done? We kind of do the same thing with hygiene care because with ADHD and autism, hygiene some days can be a no-go. So I'll just give them gentle reminders. Hey, did we brush our teeth? Hey, don't forget at 8 o'clock, 8:30, we're going to start, because we take showers at night and then after showers, we brush our teeth and then we get ready for bed. So bedtime in our house is between 9 and 11 for our kids, depending on their age. And what we do is we let them decompress before bed. So whether that's hanging out, watching a little bit of TV in their room, reading a book, texting friends, I'm pretty not I'm pretty relaxed when it comes to that because all of our kids keep their doors open and I can just pop my head in and where I sit in our loft, uh, I can hear kind of what's going on, how they're talking to their friends, stuff like that. And the rule we have in our house is at any point in time, if I ask to see your device, you hand it over with no questions asked. If you do, you're grounded from it. So if you try to hide your device or you seem like you're deleting stuff off of it, it's just it's automatically taken away. Our internet is restricted. My husband my husband has a pretty tight lockdown on our internet in our house, so I'm not worried about our kids accessing websites and stuff like that they're not supposed to. My kids do play a lot of Steam games, and we have a family share account, so um, they play live action games on there, or they do their homework on their school laptops that they have. But overall, I mean, my kids are pretty laid back. I mean, some days you might hear them in the background going crazy, but more often than not, they're pretty chill. Our household is pretty laid back overall. That's just the way me and my husband are, so our kids are that way as well. Like I said earlier, my kids, they have a very good relationship with us, so I'm thankful for that. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. I'm thinking maybe In-N-Out. I want some In-N-Out burgers. I know some people aren't fans of In-N-Out, but I think they're pretty tasty, and their shakes are delicious too. I just don't want to cook tonight. I haven't been in the mood to cook the past several days, and I get like this when it starts getting hotter out, to be honest. We tend to grill a lot during the warmer months. I just haven't gotten our grill and our smoker ready for the season yet. And I just don't want to cook. I'll be honest, I'll probably do like crock pot or slow cooker meals the days that I work this week. And probably next week as well. And the week after. Just because it makes for easy meals for us. And my kids, before I know it, will be on summer break. Ugh. It's going to be nice because maybe I'll be able to sleep in a little bit more. And what I mean by that is, right now with me working nights, I only get about 4 hours of sleep on the nights that I work. So maybe I'll be able to get closer to 6 hours because I do wake up early enough to still spend time with my kids because during the summertime they sleep in. So by the time I wake up, they've already woken up, they've gotten breakfast, and then I wake up and then we start talking about like dinner and all that stuff. My kids kind of don't, they snack throughout the day during the summertime. They don't really eat lunch per se. They snack a lot. So they'll wake up late, they'll have like a hearty breakfast, snack, and then we'll have dinner. So I just think I love summer breaks. Even as a parent, when I was a kid, I used to look forward to it. So I really hype up summer break with our kids. I know some parents like keeping their kids super busy. I just want my kids to enjoy life, to be honest. If they want to do sports or do activities, have at it. If you also want to stay home and be lazy, I'm okay with that because my kids have good work ethic. They're good students. And I know how important mental health is nowadays. I feel like when we put too much expectation on our children, their mental health can suffer from that. So and it's just something that I've witnessed working in the healthcare field and as a parent. I mean, my one of my kids, she's wanting to go to school for radiology and then ended up becoming a doctorate in radiology. So I would have to say that we're doing something right. And then my other kid wants to do aeronautical engineering and electrical engineering. So that's kind of nice. My youngest one, his biggest ambition in life right now is I want to be a YouTuber. Okay, kiddo. YouTube's great. I love it. I do it for fun. But if that's what you want to do, you better come up with a game plan. Because, again, I know I've seen plenty of channels that literally do this for a living, but for me, it's for fun. But I was like, okay, kiddo. Well, you gotta figure out what you're doing then. Find out your niche and your genre. I'm not gonna discourage his ambitions. I know when I was a kid, if I would have said that I want to play video games for a living, my parents would have laughed at me. But look, there's people out there now that literally stream and play video games for a living. There's people that talk about true crime for a living. So I honestly don't put anything past what my kids' desires are. I feel like you can be an entrepreneur or anything as long as you have a good business plan and you know how to make it happen. That's the problem is a lot of times people don't know how to make it happen. They don't they see the end goal, but they don't know the steps in between how to get there. So my role as their parent is to teach them and guide them and help them get to that end goal. That's something me and my daughter were talking about, how no matter what, my kids are always going to be my kids. I will always have my children's back, unless, of course, it's something like where they hurt another human being or they break the law in a unreasonable way. But I will always have my kids' best interest at heart and my grandkids and so forth. I will always provide for my kids. It's just I know I had that kind of support growing up and it helped me flourish in life as a young adult. I wasn't afraid to step out on that ledge and make a mistake because I knew my parents would be there to guide me back onto the right path. So I did take a lot of risk in my 20s, which I mean they worked out for me with the help of my parents. So all right, looks like I'm almost out of my thread. We'll see how many more stitches I can get out of this. Once I run out of this thread, we'll call this week a dunzo. Yep, just a smidge more. Probably about 5 more minutes or so. Maybe, depending on how fast I stitch. And I just keep poking my finger if you can't see that there. That's what happens when you're a stitcher and you don't use thumb protectors. Or finger protectors, I guess you would say. I use finger protectors when my skin's really raw. At this point, as you can see, my finger's pretty calloused, so I kind of don't care. But I've probably stabbed myself 4 or 5 times on this stitch with me. So it's okay. All right, looks like that we're done with this week's Stitch With Me for the Spring Mountain, week 4. I just want to say thank you for sticking around for this week's Stitch With Me. Again, Spring Mountain, week 4. As you see, we've made quite a bit of progress on this. If you're a subscriber, thank you for your support and coming back. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you like the content and you like having company while you do your project, go ahead and click that bell notification so anytime that I upload new content, you will go ahead and get that notification, and leave a comment or to ask any type of questions that you want, and then I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you again for staying all the way till the end of the video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.